What is going on, everybody? It is Alex coming back at you with another video, and today it is Mock Draft Monday, so we are going to have a one-round, no trades mock draft. If you guys are wondering where the trades are going to be, they're coming tomorrow in tomorrow's trade mock draft. I like to do these things because I like to be able to put myself in situations where I can't get out of, so I'm forced to make the best pick at that point. It's also a good way to test out new possibilities so that we get to have some more good football discourse. If you guys have not already done so, would love for you guys to stick around, like, comment, subscribe. On the road to 7K would be awesome if y'all can help me get there. Then we're going to be on the road to 10K by the draft. We've been growing at a great rate, so I have you guys to thank for that. Let's get right into the video. Let's not have too much of a frilly intro, but as y'all can see, below my face is my board. If you guys have issues with it, that's more than fine. I know you guys will. Feel free to join the Discord, and you guys can DM me at any time, and we do tape studies over there. It's been a little bit on the smaller side right now because I am just starting school out, so y'all know the biz when school, the professor's just like, no, we're going to pile on all the homework at the beginning. So once we get into the rhythm, once we get into the groove, I got you. So feel free to join there and then don't miss out. So pick number one, if the Bears have to stay in this position, like that's the caveat. Remember, that's the whole shebang, right? We are going to have to make a more impactful move for this franchise. And some people were saying, Justin Fields might get traded. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Apparently Warren Sapp said something about that. I don't know. I'm not going to comment on that until it's like a legitimate rumor. And I guess it is. But, before I get more information on it, then, I'm not going to comment on it because there's no reason telling you guys stuff I don't know enough about. And that's something that I like to be proud of for you guys. But it's down to Jalen Carter, Will Anderson. You can't move out of here, which again, no trades mock draft. Just letting y'all know again. You have to go with one of the two. And your next pick is about at like 50 something. So it is really like who you decide is BPA. I just love the upside of Jalen Carter. That's just the way I've always been. And Will Anderson is my number one player above Jalen Carter. But I also have guys I have faith in down the line at edge rusher that I'd be pretty happy with. And the interior defensive line class got really thin really quickly. Thankfully, Clyde Jacansey took a step up as the year progressed. So nice to see him be able to at least give something. But this defensive line class is so thin. And yes, there are some good impactful players. Again, you got Clyde Jacansey, you have Breezy in the right situation, you also have Jalen Carter. Besides those three, now you're getting Carl Brooks, who's primarily an edge rusher. And then, I can't even say Clyde Jacansey is a true defensive tackle. He's a DPR, a designated pass rusher, for those of you who do not know that term. Which, to be fair, I didn't know it that well either for a while. I'm not going to waste y'all's time. This is going to be Bryce Young, but basically this defensive line class is very scheme specific, except for Jalen Carter. I just trust that Jalen Carter has the highest ceiling out of anybody in this class. So if he's able to get his head right, if he's able to get his athleticism down, you're going to have somebody who's going to be on that Chris Jones level, and that makes a lot bigger buzz than maybe a TJ Watt, and that's a hot take. But if you destroy the pocket from the inside, there's only two ways to go, and that's out there. That helps out the edge rushers. The edge rushers collapse the pocket, you step up. It's not always the way that, it's not an easy shot for a defensive tackle. But we can talk about that another time. Pick number 3 for the Cardinals. If y'all are here, you know exactly what's going to happen. Will Anderson, going to be the pick. And yeah, we could talk about Bryce Young not being the number 2 pick. Could be CJ Stroud. But with the rumors that CJ was like the consensus second overall pick when Bryce was the first, I don't know if that's going to really change it based on just because of Bryce Young's size. He has issues, but at the same time, everybody has issues. And Bryce Young's playing style could be very translatable to the NFL. We'll see who the head coach is there. If it is somebody who does seem to be a big fan of huge quarterbacks and more of that stature size rather than that playmaking ability, then we can start talking about someone like CJ Stroud. That would be a little bit more comfortable. But there's no doubt in my mind this is going to be CJ. I don't think we need to discuss it. If he's there, the Colts are going to take him. Fits the bigger style, the bigger build that Irsay would be looking for. Pick number 5, yes, Will Levis is actually a legitimate option here. Someone pointed this out beautifully. I think his head coach runs the same system as Seattle, or he's from Seattle. I'm tripping on it right now, but there are relations to Seattle with the system that Will Levis was playing. I do not think it's out of the question. However, for me, I don't know. I put it this way for you guys. Think about it this way. So the pick number 5 right now, you may say, oh, we'll never have a pick number 5 again. You forget that this quarterback class is, one, honestly not that good. we have guys that we're kind of like pushing up the board because we don't really have other options. Will Levis is 24 years old with a big arm and has had 1 year of legit success. And he's had an injury that pretty much hampered him the majority of this year, especially when the key games were going on. But he stepped up in big moments. He's not a bad QB at all. And my board reflects my thoughts on that. You guys can't see it. So, what am I saying here? But I have him down here at number 23. Not because he's bad, but it's just he's not elite. And we've had kind of a quarterback drought, so we're pushing these guys who have talent up the board. So I think in any other draft that has adequate quarterback talent, he would be probably 15 to 20, maybe 20 to 25 on someone's board. So saying that you're missing out on a top 5 pick here at quarterback isn't necessarily true. It's just a pick 5 in this draft. So that's why I'm saying don't go on Will Levis just because you have a top 5 pick and you want to spend it on a QB. That's where I'm at. We're going to be going after Tyree Wilson here. He's an amazing run defender. He fits Seattle better than Myles Murphy. You really can't go wrong with either one of them. But he's an amazing run defender, had 50 pressures this past year, a lot more than Myles Murphy, but he needs to be worked on quite a bit. Pete Carroll's an excellent guy for that. We kind of all feel that, Tyree definitely can feel like a Seahawk, and I'm all here for it. I really like Tyree Wilson. Again, has some intricacies to work on in his game, but if there's a place where I'd like him to be, this might be one of the top ones. Pick number 6, again, no trades. You can't move out of this one. I'm looking at Myles Murphy here. I'm looking at Brian Breezy. Honestly, I would rather, it's too bad y'all don't have LA's second round pick, because then I would say, dude, take Kalijah Cansey there. Defense, like cornerback is going to be there at 18. The more you study the cornerbacks in this class, the more I'm confused why some of them came out, because it's like, wow, this is a stacked top of the class. It does taper off, but it's a stacked top of the class. I know I'm going to get somebody who's going to be definitely a starter there at pick 18. So for me at this spot, what are my other positions of value? Safety is way too high to go. Again, we already addressed corner, probably at 18. I'm not going to go QB here. I'm not. I don't know why people keep saying I'm saying you need a QB. You do not need a QB. I don't think you do. And Ben Johnson returned for a reason, because I think he believes in Jared Goff. So to me, it's down to Myles Murphy and Brian Breezy, the Clemson guys. And I know Houston's great. He's a good rotational pass rusher, but I want someone who can stuff the run as well. Myles fits in that similar to Aiden Hutchinson category, where he's somebody who has that size and he has that great ability to just kind of blow up the play whenever he needs to. Maybe not to the level of Aiden Hutchinson, but at the same time, you do see those plays where Myles is able to blow over a tackle, and I think that could work really well with a situation that we've seen Aiden Hutchinson thrive in. So I've seen success with a very similar mold. I think I'm going to take that success. Pick number 7. I'm not going to put Will Levis here. He does not fit in terms of the system. You look at Josh McDaniels. He's had success with good distributors. I'm not going to put a playmaker in a distributor system, and I hope to God they don't either. Out of respect for Will Levis, out of respect for McDaniels and the fans of the Raiders, you're just going to be putting a square through a round hole, and that just does not work. It does not. So the right thing to do here is to go DB, and you could go Devon Witherspoon because he has that great mentality. Some people are saying he's a track star there. I think he's going to run probably 4.5 based off of the tape I've seen. He gets blown by. I don't understand where this, I hope maybe he's just trying to come back from an injury, and that's why he looks slower. But the tape I've seen, which is the only L22 out there in the meantime, is indicative that he's a very good corner, just has his limitations. So I'm saying hold your reins. Someone who I don't think has limitations is Joey Porter. And you will point out the Purdue game. I studied that game specifically in all 22 just to see why. And he got toasted on a couple routes. And one of them was a really quick slant. And that was the one that really got him every time. Most of the corners in this class, not good versus inside releases. So it's very intriguing about that. I hope that the right DB coaches can help out with that. But I saw him get beat by it 3 times. He ended up locking it down in that final play. The final time that he was on the field, if I'm not mistaken, it was at least one of the final times. He learned on the fly. He got beat time and time again. He learned, he adjusted, and he beat that route. And that led to the victory. So to me, that shows that he's willing to learn and he's able to produce even when he's in a situation that has proven to beat him multiple times. I think he might be the best player in the class. I'm just saying it right now. And that game was his weak point. He is not a man corner. He is a zone corner. And he showed that he can play and he can ball the fuck out. So I love Joey Porter. I think he should probably be even number 2, if not number 1 on my board. Just one of those guys I have that strong hunch about, like I did Sauce last year. Pick number 8. Again, if y'all sitting here, DB is a good one to go. Pass rusher, we've kind of taken the 2 that are really intriguing off the board. Doesn't really make sense to go after that. Brian Breezy would be a pretty cool addition, but again, he's my interior defensive lineman 5 right now. That sounds sacrilegious, but it depends on where he goes. His missed tackle percentage is 30%. I'm sorry, you can't. We can go over that another time. But bottom line, I'm not taking him here. I think the best route to go at this point would just be to get the best player available. And it could be Christian Gonzalez to you. It could be Keely Ringo. It could be Emmanuel Forbes. Devon Witherspoon is just getting that hype. He plays a lot of off coverage. To me, that's a little bit concerning. I don't think there's an edge rusher good enough here. I don't think there's a linebacker worthy enough of this pick. I'm going to go after a DB. I am. It's just a weird spot. This is a huge trade out spot in my opinion. I think a team that would be looking at Will Levis should totally jump here because he's going to be the next pick. And I already know I'm going to get some shit about it, but I'll explain it in a second. Devon's going to get that hype. I am going to hopefully be wrong. And at the combine, let's just say he runs 4.4. I'm going to project that, even though my eyes don't say it. And we'll say he goes there at pick 8. Because if that's the case, then that's okay. If he is as fast as I think he plays, based off of the tape I've seen, we have some issues. And then he'll be falling. But for now, I think it's a good option. He is a very talented corner, though. I mean, again, he's top 32 on my board. It's not like he sucks. It's just hold your horses on people saying he should be a top 5 pick. Pick number 9, this is going to be Will Levis. And I have been way against the Will Levis hype train. I have been totally on the other side, especially for the Panthers. Here's the one thing. Y'all can go back to my quarterbacks video. It's there on YouTube. I said there's 2 dream fits. 2 fits where I want him. Dable, Reich. Reich was able to make Carson Wentz look great. I think Will Levis will be better than Carson Wentz if Frank Reich is his head coach / OC. He is. So that is the one domino I needed to fall in order to make this pick. Otherwise, I'd never make the pick. I wouldn't. It's a dream fit. A dream fit. I'm sorry, Matt Corral, my former high school quarterback. Sometimes it fits. And fits matter a lot in the NFL, especially for a quarterback. We've seen that with a lot of talented players, even like Justin Fields, not exactly getting the right fit and not getting the help that they need. So pick number 10 for Philly, if they cannot move out of here. Yes, Brian Breezy could be that dude who revolutionizes your roster. I don't think that's out of the question. I just believe that Brian Branch has the most upside. I don't want Marcus Epps back at all. You could bring Chauncey back. Again, corner would not be a bad choice here. I do like corner. I do. And I already know there's going to be some dude there. I love Emmanuel Forbes too. Shit. There's going to be some guy there at 31. So the question is there going to be a safety there at 31? I don't think so. You could go Brian Breezy, but again, if I go safety here, then you have an elite level corner. He can play boundary corner as well. You have an elite level DB who is able to just create a no-fly zone there with Chauncey. Imagine the range that these safeties have if you have Chauncey and Brian Branch. It's going to be ridiculous. And then at 31, let's just say you go DB. Let's just say you go defensive interior. You're addressing 2 major positions with guys who actually fit that value. So I like that. I don't think safety would fit that value. Yes, you don't force a need, but this is where the talent upside is worth it because you have amazing mentors, and I think he can hit his ceiling here. Pick number 11. We're going O-line all day, every day. Doesn't matter which one you want. To me, I am now going to be right down the road, and I'm going to go Darnell Wright. I know that actually, I'm forgetting. It's called Beyond the Sticks. I'm going to give him a shout out because he followed me on Twitter. I'm gonna mispronounce your name. I do apologize. It's called Sanjit T. He actually had a video talking about Darnell Wright as well. So if you guys want to give him a follow, I believe he is pretty new on YouTube. He has about a couple thousand subscribers, so show him some love there. But he's our offensive tackle 1. Also, Tennessee is the Titans are in Tennessee, so they get a lot of eyes on Darnell. He's right tackle and left tackle versatile, And also you could put Nicholas Petit-Ferrer back at left tackle if you want to. He just has the most upside out of any tackle in the class and does not have the length issues that Peter Skoronski does. So I love Darnell Wright. I think that he could just end up being the best tackle. We will see. I think he's there in Mobile right now, so will be good to see him play in those one-on-one reps. I hope to God that people start seeing what Sanjit and I do, and he's going to be rising up boards. Just trust me. Pick number 12. The right thing to do here is to address a wide receiver position, maybe an offensive line position as well. Paris Johnson could be a really fun one. I don't know if I want a 6'6" O lineman playing potentially guard for me in the short run if I have pretty much a 5'10" QB. Not the best fit. I like Peter Skoronski here, though, because you can use him as a guard and tackle hybrid. You could look at Quentin Johnston here as well. But I think D'Amico Ryans might be the head coach. And forgive me if I missed that you guys hired a head coach because, I am in the middle of health season at the moment. But Brian Breezy does feel like the best value. I just want to show you guys that I like Quentin Johnston here. And then it was a legitimate consideration there for Peter Skoronski. I do think offensive line is never a bad choice, especially with a quarterback that you have size and injury concerns. So that's that. Pick number 13 for the Jets. Paris Johnson just feels like he is going to test very well in terms of athleticism. He is an awful anchor, and for you guys who don't understand what anchor means, it's when you get pushed back just pretty much by anybody. Lucas Van Ness is someone who's due for another scouting report because he made Paris Johnson look a little foolish. To be fair, I think a lot of people did. So I think Paris Johnson might be the move here. I think offensive tackle needs to be the choice regardless. I like Anton Harrison more, but Paris Johnson does have that excitement in terms of explosiveness. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go off of my board. I love Anton Harrison. He also has played games at right tackle, so you can fill him there. He has actually had full games at right tackle versus just right guard. Patriots, another position where offensive tackle seems to be the fit. And Peter Skoronski would be really cool here, but I just don't think Bill wants somebody with shorter arms. So I'm going to go with Paris Johnson or Broderick Jones. Again, you guys can choose whichever one you want. Cody Mock is a dark horse candidate because we all know Bill Belichick likes to trade back and end up drafting someone that we don't think should go there. And Cody Mock seems to fit exactly what they're looking for. So maybe in a trades mock, I can do that just to toss the Bill factor in there. But I think Paris Johnson does garner at least a little bit of love and some consideration there at 14. Pick number 15 for the Packers. Peter Skoronski is an intriguing option. Quentin keeps falling. The wide receivers just do. That's the way this class rolls. I just don't know if they're actually going to take a wide receiver round one, even though they should. But if they are all in on DeAndre Hopkins, they probably won't technically be all in because we all know they underbid like a motherfucker. So they could get their own version of them in Quentin Johnston. But at the same time, I want to be able to switch things up a little bit. I've done Quentin Johnston to you guys, I think the past two mocks. I want to go Lucas Van Ness here. It's somebody who's a high upside edge rusher. He's not very high on my board, but I'm blending my board with theirs. And it fits exactly what you're looking for if you are thinking through the eyes and through the mindset of what Green Bay drafts through. A high upside, extremely powerful Big Ten edge rusher who has good run stuffing ability. And you've seen him maul offensive tackles. He has incredible strength. I think he's raw as all get out. But the fact is, you're going to be losing Rashawn Gary for pretty much half of the year. And I'm pretty sure he's coming up for a contract as well if you guys have not already paid him. That's slipping my mind right now, but that's what the 7-round mock drafts are for, which will be coming soon. But Lucas Van Ness is going to be my little dark horse there at pick 15. Pick number 16, Peter Skoronski is just, it's too perfect to let him continue going there. People are going to say Christian Gonzalez is slipping too far. He's not. He has a lot of technical flaws. I don't think that he is nearly as good as people think he is. He's a good player, just not nearly as good as what people are trying to claim. But pick number 17 for the Steelers, I think we should just take our pick of DBs here. And I like Emmanuel Forbes just behind Keely Ringo. I like him more than Christian Gonzalez. I really do. I like him more than Cam Smith. Granted, Cam Smith's not updated because there's no All-22 yet. So we'll see about that when the time comes. Same thing with Eli Ricks. Don't think he's better than Keely Ringo. I think Ringo's an amazing run defender as well, has an incredible build at over 200 pounds. I'm going to go with him. I think that he's going to start rising back up boards. I don't think that people are giving him enough credit for how talented he is. And at this point, Christian Gonzalez fits this system better, in my opinion. He is somebody where you have a higher upside. You don't need him to be a corner one. I think Jeff Okudah could step into that role well. So it gives him time to develop. Christian Gonzalez is going to be the man there at pick number 18. Pick number 19, it's down to a DB here. So we can go DB, or we can go after a quarterback in Anthony Richardson. I think Richardson just provides a little too much upside. And yes, you can go Kyle Trask, but I think Anthony Richardson is finally starting to get the hype that he deserves, because a lot of people are saying he's not even worth taking at all. I think I have him there at 28 on my board. He's worth taking in the first round. The upside is way too good to pass on. But at pick number 20, we are seeing the wide receivers fall like a mother trucker here. Linebacker seems to be the perfect move. I want to test out other options, though. Michael Mayer, no. I don't think tight end needs to be the route that you guys need to go. Running back, no. O'Cyrus Torrence does feel like the right move for this team at the same time. Why can't you update the roster and take out Cedric Van Pran? So I'm not excited to talk about him. Jarrett Patterson, no. I'm not saying at this pick, but I'm saying down the board, you can go after like a Lusagoon. There are dudes who I would be willing to take down the board. I think O'Cyrus Torrence fits perfectly into the system, though. And since he is looked at as such a high upside prospect, it could be the right fit for you. Now, I'm not going to go that route, though. I'm not. I'm actually still going to go the linebacker route, because I think going after someone like Drew Sanders or Trenton Simpson's perfect. Trenton Simpson has a lot of upside, but I want to give Drew Sanders some love here. I'm going to show him a little bit of love because he deserves it. He's my linebacker 1 at the moment. He's number 27 on my board, so I really do like him. I'll scroll down so you guys get to see a little bit more of my board as well. Pick number 21, it's pretty much Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison here. There's not really much debate for me between Michael Mayer and those wide receivers. I'm going to go after the wide receivers because in round 2, you end up with like Dalton Kincaid. You can end up even with Sam Laporta. I think that's better value if you can get one of these stud receivers here. I think Jordan Addison is just the perfect complement, so I'm going to be rocking with that. Pick number 22, Quentin Johnston is the man. I don't think we need to waste either of our times with that. But at pick number 23, this is where things get interesting because I think Bijan's perfect. I took him in the last mock as well. It's another way of also saying I'm taking him away from the Cowboys. I'm potentially taking him away from the Eagles as well. And Dalvin Cook might be a casualty, and you're losing Alexander Mattison. I think that the running the ball should be your identity. You do have some really good offensive linemen on your team. So for me, I am going to be going after Bijan Robinson for you guys. Pick number 24. You could go... Oh, wow. That was... There we go. There's my mind running faster than my mouth. You could go Jackson Smith and Jigba. You could go O'Cyrus Torrence. You could go Broderick Jones. You could also go after Cam Smith. You could even go after Clark Phillips. I think Clark Phillips would be a nice round 2 target for you, though. So... I love O-line for this team. I really do. I'm an O-line guy. That's just the way I roll. Jackson Smith and Jigba, though. Having him, Calvin Ridley, and, Christian Kirk, there we go. That would be incredible. And his blocking ability is going to help out in the run game. I think that's your best bet. You're getting what you're wanting from Laviska Shenault there. He's starting to fall out of first-round mocks, which I don't think is right because I was known as number 1 hater, right? I don't think he's that bad. I don't. He has a really solid role. He has a very translatable role to the NFL, and this team is exactly where it should be. Pick number 25 for the Giants. Zay Flowers is probably going to be the guy who I'm most intrigued with at this point. I'm so happy to see that Zay is getting the love he deserves, too. Y'all can go back to my first wide receiver video. He's my wide receiver 4. He's a guy who made me hate Andrew Booth. Not hate, but be much lower on Andrew Booth than other people. He is absolutely phenomenal and deserves that respect. So I'm glad to see that he's getting it. And getting help here at 25, totally worth it. Pick number 26. I really do think Michael Mayer would be a good option here, but I want to get Broderick Jones and continue building this O lineup. I think that Tyler Smith's been a really nice addition there, but I think he should just stay another year or 2 at guard, and then you could transition him to right tackle potentially and save some money there. Broderick Jones is just too good to pass on. Pick number 27 for the Bills. O-line is going to be the way I go. Question is there anybody good enough at tackle? Who do you want going to the Bengals? Do you want Cody? Well, who do you want going to the Chiefs or Bengals? Is it going to be Cody Mock or is it going to be O'Cyrus Torrence? I'm going to take the upside here with O'Cyrus Torrence. Pick number 28. I think now we're kind of pushed towards Michael Mayer or Cam Smith. I like Cam Smith. Just, I don't think that the Bengals are going to be focusing primarily on defense. Trenton Simpson, I'd replace Jermaine Pratt. Apparently that guy was, if I did not hear mistakenly, was kind of like just being an asshole after the game, which it's understandable, but it's a team sport and you should celebrate your successes at some point rather than just being pissed off at your failures. So I would personally like to go Trenton Simpson here. I'm going to do it out of spite. I'm going to go Trenton Simpson just to say screw you to Jermaine Pratt for being an asshole. If I heard it correctly, which I could always be mistaken. Pick number 29. This should be a traded out pick, but it is not. So I think the right move here would be to go O-line. And Cody Mock, the O-line just did not work well. I don't know who else would be good enough to play for this team. Like Luke Whippler, Lusagoon, those are guys who I'd probably try to target round 3, based off of the picks they have. I have them way higher on my board, but I'm saying realistically speaking, that's where I would go. This is a tough spot. Honestly, I'm going to have to, DeJuan Jones is going to get some crazy hype though. He just had a 7'5" person's wingspan. I have a weird feeling he's going to be vaulted into this range because they're going to say, hey, we know that we're not good enough. We're going to develop him. That kills me to put DeJuan Jones in the first though. There's so many better players on the board. It's just, this is a pick that should be traded. It is a pick that should be traded, but no trades. Pick number 30. Wide receiver wouldn't have been a bad option here. I've seen Luke Musgrave, and I'm just not down for that at all. I think the right move here would probably be Josh Downs does fit, but that was what I was saying last year about Calvin Austin. Not going to be doing it this year. There's no tackles except Cody Mock available. I think Cody Mock would be really fun to try out. He's a very interesting prospect because his tape's not extremely translatable, but at the same time, if a tackle's there, 1, I'm going to take him for the Chiefs, but 2, he just has something about him. He has something about him that just screams, if you're in the right spot with the right mentor, you're going to be absolutely incredible. So the chances of that are not very high, but I think the Chiefs are in a position to say, hey, screw it. Let's try it out. We know that we have a system that works. Even if tackles in our system don't always work. We've been able to make it to the Super Bowl that way. But I think it's worth taking a shot on. And at 30, it's not a super high pick. Pick number 31 for the Eagles. Kind of sucks to see Michael Mayer be going here. But Cam Smith's still here, which is ridiculous. He should not be. I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to call it out as it is. Emmanuel Forbes, Cam Smith, these guys are incredible. The reason I didn't take a corner for the Cowboys is because of the fact that I still have 7 corners on the board. And it's kind of hard to think that they would go in that time frame. But we're going to go Cam Smith here to end off the draft just because I think that he's going to go before Emmanuel Forbes. Otherwise, I would go Emmanuel Forbes. But that's going to be the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys always for supporting me. See you on the far side.